Oh,
Go ahead.
too late.
Are we on?
We are on. We are
All
live.
right, whatever you do, tell me when we're live. Oh shit! What do I do again? I go to you. Oh wait, yeah, I gotta go to this thing.
What?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What is good? Look at this. I'm in America. Alexis
Right?
is out. He went out to the land of the colonizers, I guess.
Bro, the conquistadors' cousins. I'm out here in jolly old England, mate.
All right, let's get my focus going.
I was out here teaching people how to speak English, bro. They don't get it.
They're gonna learn it from you of all people. It's pretty incredible,
Right? Bro. Also, we need a regular ass cup of coffee up in this goddamn city. I finally found one place that does just like a regular old drip coffee, as they call it out here, filter coffee. And I was like, honestly, thank you. I'm like, you ain't adding water to this. Promise me you ain't adding water. And they're like, no. Just in the brewing process. I was like, all right. I will pay you 75,000 pounds for this if you ask me to.
John Carl Tritt, what's good? Says, don't want Everton to go down. I'll miss beating them in the derby twice a year. Okay, but that's not the kind of energy we need right now. Okay.
Everyone saw the title. Everyone saw the thumbnail. We already know what's going on. Paolo Nelson said, everyone please hit that like button on your way in and fasten your seatbelts. Thank you very much. Keep your hands inside the ride at all times, bro.
Okay, you got to do one of these. Just cross.
Yeah, Wakanda.
Give me a.
Bro, you got me looking like a ghost up in here. Why am I so pale?
That's your camera, dude. I don't know. That's what happens when you go to England, bro. The
Yo,
whiteness rubs off on you.
Just before this, I FaceTimed with wifey, and I look clean as hell. I think they compress on FaceTime. I look skinnier. I look a little tan. The barbershop haircut was in. Now I look like I'm dying, bro.
Damn. You look like you're covered in formaldehyde, bro.
Oh, bro. I look like I came here and I'm slowly becoming goth. I got bit by a goth guy. A radioactive goth guy on the tube. On the tube, mate.
USL meme said Miami FC kit looking good. That's right. Yeah. Shouts to Miami FC who sent us some kits.
Lost to Inter Miami in the
US Open Cup. Okay, that happens. Inter Miami's they're a brand new team, but this is Prem Show, so we'll focus on that tomorrow. Today we focus on all things Premier League, European football, mate. Alexis is in London right now, and
I'm out here. Close to Europe. They asked to leave. So I'm in England. I'm close to Europe. And shouts to Eagle Eye Football, who said Alexis got the trim. Shouts to Slider Cuts. They did the thing. I got linked up with a dude named HD Cuts, who apparently cuts like every Premier League footballer's haircut.
I go to 4K cuts, but you do what you do what you want to do. I mean,
I'm out here. I mean, they only charge $10.80. So actually, they charge 1080p. Get it? Because P is, come on now.
All right, we're doing it.
Come on now. It sells itself. So I finally got my haircut. I was waiting for HD Cuts to hit me back up, but apparently he's in demand and very busy. So a bunch of people told me, like, yo, you got to go to Slider Cuts. They did their thing. But also shouts to Eagle Eye Football, because guess what? Not only did I get a drink, we watched the fight with Eagle Eye Football, but also our boy Brushy 87.
Whoa!
What?
The homies, everybody in the chat is like, yo, I wanna see these guys in HD. I wanna see them in person.
And I'm like, did someone say HD Cuts? Please respond to me. But yeah, dude, the boy Brush came through. I didn't even ask him his real name. I called him Brushy the whole damn time.
He's like, yo, no government. You don't need to know all that about. I mean, I mess with you on the chat, but I ain't giving you too much info.
Yeah, you ain't need to know all that. You don't need to know all that. Also, I don't know if you can see the hat right there. I went to Fresh Ego Kid.
Oh, okay.
It's the brand you see. Every content creator in England wears this brand.
Right. All
right. I went. They hooked me up with a hat. It was dope. You showed love to the Cooligans out here.
Look at that. You love to see it. Thank you for everybody in England being kind to Alexis.
Trish Murphy's husband is the name in the chat. So pretty soon the whole family going to be in this chat. Trish Murphy's husband said 1080p is funny. Shouts to Trish Murphy's husband already coming in with gold.
So this is not. So Trish Murphy and Trish Murphy's husband are two separate accounts, I'm assuming.
Why would you have to assume that? Why wouldn't you just immediately be able to acknowledge that?
Could this be Trish Murphy posing as Trish Murphy's husband? Is that a thing Trish Murphy would do?
Or is this Trish Murphy's husband being really bad at making burgers?
She'll never know.
Yeah. I got an idea.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. As always, we're here every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We are the Cooligans. My name is Chritian. That is Alexis. He is in London. I am not in London. I am in America. Okay?
That's right.
So
where we belong.
Okay? Where everybody in London keeps telling Alexis to go back to. Okay?
Okay, we have an update. Trish Murphy's husband just said on his phone he's driving. So this is Trish Murphy. On Trish Murphy's husband's account, which is called Trish Murphy's husband, but it's not Trish Murphy's husband. It's just Trish Murphy.
Which is probably more incredible, and it makes me happier that Trish Murphy's husband has an account that says Trish Murphy's husband. You know what I mean? That's pretty the bond. It's like it's almost like when breaking the.
Someone throw a plate.
Helene, she dropped something in the sink. Helene just got back from her bachelorette party in Miami. Uh-oh. That's right.
You take a pregnancy test, bro?
Okay, I don't think I'm the father. All right?
Yeah. How was it? Did she go to a kale farm? What was the festivity?
Lot of they went to like vegan restaurants. They went to a Cuban restaurant, which she enjoys. She told me she liked that.
Did she get kicked out when she started saying, "I don't eat carbs, I don't eat sugar, I don't eat dairy"? And they're like,
okay. You can't scream because the AirPods are not very good with when it gets very loud. When it gets to Alexis volume.
I guess it's not made for me then. Maybe I could lower the input.
Maybe. And Ice Cold Bruce said dancing bear goal celebration, which I think is a reference to a stripper, I'm assuming, but I don't know.
Isn't that what's his face?
That's Will Bruin. Will Bruin. But also could be a stripper. Who knows?
How's my volume? Is it too low?
Volume is good. You're just fine.
All right, cool. So now if I scream, it shouldn't.
USL meme said that Miami kid is suspect now. That's good. Good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad I got your support. Everybody's on the case.
What kind of a husband will you be? Let me ask. What kind of fiance were you? Were you the hey, you didn't call me last night?
Oh my goodnno. No,
during the honeymoon.
I've never been that during the honeymoon.
You know what I mean. I'm sorry, during the bachelorette party.
Sure. No. I'm very. I give her a very long leash, Alexis. It's very, very long.
The word leash and wife don't usually go together, my friend. I'm gonna let you know that now.
It's about 5,000 feet long. All right. A lot of trust. All right, but not too much trust. A lot of trust though.
How many times did she call you during? How many days did she go away? 3?
4.
4. How many times did y'all communicate? Not via text.
Not via text.
So FaceTimes and phone calls.
3 out of the 4, and then the other one was text. So reasonable. Was that bad?
That's when the strip club was like, we're gonna close the doors, but you guys can stay in.
No, she had fun. She was with her friends and her sisters. So it's all good.
Nice.
It's all good.
Tell her I hope she had fun.
Okay,
I'm not invited to the bachelor party, so I guess you'll tell me how that goes.
No, I don't even know if I'm gonna have one. I'm like on the fence about it.
You know what? I'll just find like a bottle, like I'll get like a thing with herpes on it, and I'll rub it on you, just so it feels like you went to a bachelor
Right, and
party.
that's those are usually available. Are those over the counter at the pharmacy or what? Like just
here you don't even see a doctor.
Really? Okay, so
shouts to Jamal. Shouts to Jamal, who said he saw me on Saturday at the Emirates. Yo, I had a blast at the Emirates. And when I saw Troops, I'm like, how you feel about Arteta now, huh? How you feel about Arteta now, Troops?
Troops posted photos. He was like with his son and just a nice family,
like in a suite.
Family outing. I mean, look. The upgrade. Troops,
A nice Cobra said bachelor party and cut. Hey, Joe Whitlock said the exact same thing.
Did he?
Back.
Amazing.
Wait, hold on. Is a nice cold brew Joe Whitlock on Tricia Murphy's husband's phone, bro?
So hello everybody. Let's get started because we can do this all day. There's a lot of stories we'll share, and Alexis will talk about his time in London and at the Emirates. But hello, yes, we are the Cooligans. This is Prem Show. Anything we do this.
Christian doesn't want to mess with his dork. At the end, we're gonna need a legend for the show that explains what all these things mean.
Just literally like almost like a translation under everything that we say with a little, it bouncing. So yes, anything that you would like us to talk about, European football related, please put it in the chat. If you're listening to this podcast, yes, we're here on YouTube Live, youtube.com/soccercooligans every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and Tuesday where we talk about American soccer. So we have to start with let's start with what's in the title and the thumbnail. You all see it. Frank Lampard is in the mud right now. Everton are having a little bit of they're in the relegation zone. So right now,
no, they're not in the relegation zone. They're in a relegation position.
Well, no, this
relegation zone feels like someone who can slip into the relegation position. You are in relegation right now.
No, this is the relegation zone. It's like the friend zone. You don't want to be in there. You know what I mean? It's bad. They are.
By the way, you did get some advice that said, please don't invite Jizz Hornkamp to your bachelor party. Says Nick Red. Don't worry, I heard Jizz Hornkamp was all over the bachelor party.
No, he's a family friend. He has to be there.
He's on table 1 at the wedding.
So yeah, let's discuss. Everton lost to Liverpool, which most people expected. They lost 2-0. I actually thought Everton would at least be able to draw. I thought Everton would defend bravely and be able to sneak out a 0-0. And they did.
And for a moment there, for the first half, it looked like it might.
Yes, there was. They were bravely defending. It was a hard fought effort in that first half, but then they brought in Origi, they brought in Luis Diaz, and then that's when it becomes unfair because this is, remember when we were talking about?
Wait, hold on. Who are your backups?
But this is what
you bring in.
This is what I'm saying. Remember when you're of the we should have 5 subs, and I'm like it's a little bit unfair, and I don't even think Liverpool should have 3 subs. You know what I mean? We should really limit how many subs.
That's not a bad idea. If you're first in the table, you only get 2 subs. That's not a bad idea.
This is if you're not going to have a salary cap, this is the way to bring in some parity. If you're in first place, maybe you get 0 subs or 1. And then
second place gets 2, third place, they get the 3, fourth place gets 4, everyone else gets 5.
Boom. We fixed it. Please.
You're welcome. Also, can you retroactively do that and take away the goals for Origi?
But no, once in that second half, it was gonna be difficult, regardless, for Everton, and I think most people didn't expect them to win, even Everton fans, and I think that performance in that first half was pretty impressive. I thought, you see the possession numbers, it was like 13%.
You had 17% possession, bro.
It was brutal. But
I think they actually helped you by counting when you guys were throwing the ball to the Liverpool player for throwing. Like you were handing it to them, they're like, all right, give him that.
This is, I thought it was a good, I thought tactically it was the right decision. And it felt like a true acceptance of, we know what we are. And we know we're not as good as this team. And we're just going to accept that. And honestly, Everton should have been playing like this in like November, bro. Like, just stop conceding goals.
You were ready to shut it down.
They should have been
3 months into the season.
They should have been.
Forget like clamp it.
Because the game against Liverpool, it is what it is. It would have been it would have been really, really difficult to get a result. I thought it was possible, but once they gave up the first goal, that's when you knew it seemed to be out of sight. But the bigger frustration is that Burnley won. Burnley won against who did they play? Not West Ham.
I thought it was West Ham, actually.
Maybe it was West Ham. They won their game.
Well, no, because I think West Ham actually won, didn't they?
No, West Ham won against was it Southampton? Who was it? Villa. Let's see who they played. Jesus. Burnley. Their last match was.
I don't even see them having played here.
Wolves. They won against Wolves.
Oh yeah. They beat Wolves 1-0.
So I'm watching this game and I'm just like,
Bay Area Guna says Everton are dusty as hell.
Bro, don't.
Everton are about to be put in the basement, bro.
Yo, look, it was interestingly it's interesting seeing how the Everton players are responding. Richarlison put out a Instagram story saying, telling the fans, hey, we need you in back at Goodison. We're gonna get ourselves out of this situation. Anthony Gordon was really frustrated with the lack of, he got yellow carded for diving, but he felt that there was probably one play that probably should have been a penalty that wasn't called, that Joe Matip kind of pushed him over. But there was, he got, early in the game, he got the moniker or whatever, that he's a diver, and the ref was just like, this, I can't, boy who cried wolf, I can't trust anything.
Couldn't get it out of his head.
Yeah.
Dennis Higgins said Everton needs Jesus. Yeah, Gabriel
Jesus. Hopefully he doesn't go to Arsenal.
Come on now, bro.
Forget Arsenal. Go over to Goodison.
So here's the thing. Players said that they're going to get out of this situation.
Richarlison
Richarlison said that. So here's my question to you, Christian. One, do you believe that? Do you believe they will get out of this situation?
I think they have a better opportunity than Burnley does. Burnley, they're not that good, but I can't. It's just difficult to fathom that we're worse than Burnley, bro. It's
also they're getting the new manager bump, which I think you're still waiting for. So fine, let's do this. Let's count how many points. We've done this before, but I want to know. Is this enough to get out of it? Let's count the points. Everton versus Chelsea. How many points are you taking from that? You're at home.
At home, I think, honestly, I think this is a chance to win. I think there's 3 points here.
Let's go 3 points. Sunday, May 8th, Leicester. You head to Leicester. What's going to happen? They beat you recently, a couple weeks ago.
No, it was a draw.
You drew 1-1.
Yeah. This is another one where I think we can win.
Jamal keeps hitting you with the only pool you're playing next season is Blackpool. So you think you're going to win Chelsea and Leicester?
Yes, I do think we could win those. I'm not trying to be delusional. We beat Manchester United. Chelsea lost. They only won 1-0 to yesterday.
Manchester United. Arsenal didn't play well and beat Manchester United. So
all
right, I'll give you the 6 points. 6 points for the next 2 matches would be.
Hey,
USL Memes. Probably secure you.
USL Memes, thank you for the subscription. Also, please hit the subscription button here on YouTube. We are 8 away from 4,000. So if you haven't subscribed, please do that.
How the hell did we not hit 4,000 yet? It's crazy. Please hit the subscription button. Everybody at the barbershop I was at followed and subscribed, so you should too. All right, so it's the next 2 matches you think you're going to win. 6 points from Chelsea at home, 6 points away to Leicester. Away to Watford.
This is a must-win. I mean, that has to be 3 points.
I mean, all right. You're at 9 points from 3
games. No. So, okay. So, look, Chelsea, I think, let me amend it. It's just that at home, we're so much better at home. The away games is when we will most likely lose. So, Chelsea have not been that great the last couple of weeks. They won 1-0 yesterday.
Screamer at the
so
end.
They lost. Chelsea just lost to.
Remember who broke Chelsea though?
Arsenal, right?
Who broke Chelsea though?
They haven't been. They looked pretty substandard in Champions League. Look, there's an opportunity here, and it's not like teams go to Goodison Park and just straight up dominate. That doesn't really happen that often. Everton are bad. We all know this, but there's a chance here for at least a result. I think getting a point against Chelsea is possible. It's not impossible.
You think Frank Lampard keeps this style of play, this park bus, kind of CONCACAF-y, kind of dark arty?
He didn't play Yeremina against Liverpool because he just got back from injury. He didn't want to overplay him. And because the game against Chelsea will be there's more of a chance to get a result than against Liverpool. The fact that Everton didn't give up a goal against Liverpool in the first half is a minor miracle. That Mason Holgate. It was Mason Holgate and Michael Keane. Ben Godfrey got injured in the warm-up. So it was just it looked like it was going to be way worse than it actually was.
A nice cold brew called you Pele optimist.
I'll take it.
Jamal is killing you, bro. Jamal said, LOL, you are worse than bad.
But when you look at the...
here's the thing, I do want to give you credit, and I do want to give Everton credit, because losing 2-0 to the best team in Europe right now, in their house, is kind of a victory.
Right.
To some degree. There's so many positives there to pull from.
Manchester United didn't lose 2-0. They lost, 4-0? 5-0?
Yeah.
So
I do think you probably should have gotten a penalty. It at very least could have ended 1-1.
Right. This game was I didn't expect to win it. It's not even about that. But Everton, they just beat Manchester United. There are teams that they don't look like they can beat that they end up winning against. And there's teams that they should beat that they lose. We've lost to Norwich. We've lost to Watford. We've lost to Burnley. Those 3 results, the game against Burnley, if they would have played the way they played against Liverpool.
That might be the reason you get relegated.
It's very possible. And the fact that Burnley, they sacked their manager, Sean Dyche, they get rid of him, and I'm like, yo, bro, they're done for. Why are they getting rid of him now? And it's like, they maybe they did it just at the right time. That result against Wolves is tremendous. So it's the game against Watford have to brutally have to win. There's no.
Okay, so let's go. Give me some reality here. Okay?
Yeah.
Chelsea at Everton. You're sticking with 3 points.
I'll say 1 point.
Okay, 1 point. Everton away to Leicester.
Away to Leicester. I'll 1 point also.
Okay, so we're at 2 points. Everton away to Watford.
3 points.
Okay, so we're at 5 points. Brentford with Christian Eriksen, the zombie.
That away or home?
Comes to Everton.
That's at home?
That's in your house.
That's Goodison. 3 points.
Okay, so we're at 8 points.
8 points.
8 points. Everton welcome Crystal Palace to Goodison.
This is going to be a tough one.
Crystal Palace is a tough team to play, bro.
I'm gonna say 3 points only because the last time that we played them, obviously in the FA Cup, I think there was no Alan because he had the red card, no Yeremina. So I think that's gonna be the difference. The home games, there's no home game in these last stretches that I'm gonna say that we're not gonna get 3 points out of. Outside of the Chelsea one, I think the rest of them are absolutely must wins, and I think they can.
You only have one left, which is the Crystal Palace. So you think you could take 3 points from Crystal Palace going to Goodison?
Yeah, and then
So you're at 9.
You're at 11. And then
Arsenal away.
Arsenal away. I think that's a loss. I don't think we win that one. I think it's going to be
11 points.
I think it's too important to Arsenal. It's gonna be the last game. They're probably still fighting for a Champions League spot.
I think that's gonna be the reason we stay in fourth. It might be we win, we stay in fourth. You win, you stay up. It might be that.
It might be.
And here's why I'm saying that. You took 11 points, right? Where are you
That would be 40. 40 points.
That would put you at 40. Burnley are at 31 points. Let's look at the matches they have coming up. Burnley away to Watford. What are you thinking there?
This is going to be a tough one because Watford really needs to win this game. I could see this being a draw.
Okay. Aston Villa go to Burnley. Go to Turf Moor.
I think Burnley loses this game. I think they lose that.
I could see Aston Villa. I'll give you that. I could see Aston Villa winning that.
Yeah.
So Watford have 3 points. That brings them to 34 points. Okay, so no, wait, you said draw. They're at 32 points.
Mm-hmm.
They lose to Aston Villa. Tottenham. Burnley goes to White Hart Lane or Tottenham Stadium.
They're losing that. They're not winning that game.
Tottenham are on a free fall. Their manager.
2 games.
Their manager. The rumor just came out that their manager wants to go to PSG. He's like, please get me the fuck out of here. All right. How about this? Burnley have to go to Aston Villa now.
I think they maybe there's a draw here between obviously they have to play 2 games. They're gonna play each other 2 times in 2 weeks. I could see maybe 1 draw and then 1 loss for Burnley.
Okay, so you've given them now 1 point out of the last few games. Then the last match is Burnley versus Newcastle.
They're not winning that.
They're not winning that. Newcastle's on fire.
Yeah.
Newcastle's in champion right
Bro,
now.
Newcastle were beneath Everton a couple weeks ago, and now they are at the top half of the table. It's incredible.
They're in 9th, right? They're in 9th place, bro.
It's incredible.
Eddie, how'd you do it? All right, so you gave Burnley.
I think 5 points.
You gave them 5 points. Look, obviously this is a highly biased approach, but you would not be relegated if you were right with those victories and losses.
Yeah. Look, I hope I am right.
Catherine Tucker, famously a Spurs fan, just quoted me and said Tottenham are in free fall. I said, Alexis, delusionally every week.
Okay. It's Pele delusional, I think. Because, look, I think the results, Burnley's results are going to be more important to Everton than Everton's own results. But Everton do have a game in hand, so there's that. But I hope if you're a Burnley fan in this chat, I hope nothing but the most epic of failures on your part, on your team. This is pretty remarkable. I've been seeing a lot of when Liverpool and Everton were playing. They were showing all these stats about like the wage bill and how much they've spent on transfers in the last like 8 years, and They've been Liverpool has spent like I wish I could let me see if I could find that image, but basically Everton have spent like something like 800 million in the last like decade, and Liverpool has spent like 4 or 5, and then the amount of signings that were more than 25 million pounds or dollars or whatever. Everton has like 12, and Liverpool had like 3 or 4. So it really just speaks to, again, just a gross mismanagement of this club, that they've essentially thrown money at a problem, and it's not resolving absolutely anything. And Jamie Carragher said this, where he said he felt that Everton were the worst run club in Europe, which is it feels like a bold statement and a little bit.
It feels like a punch to the gut, but also a hug.
Right? Yeah.
It hurts, but it's the truth. Because
there's no other club in the world where you can justify spending this kind of money and getting these kinds of results. It makes absolutely no sense. Even from just like, if you're playing like Football Manager and you're like throwing all this money around, you're like you tend to see some better results because of the investment that you've made. But that's
like if you found out Chritian spent less at the gym than I have. You know what I mean?
Like, it's not fair.
You'd be like, I feel like it ain't working. Whatchamacallit? By the way, shouts to Graying Sideburns, who said, isolated in my house with COVID with the boop boop on Dayquil. Must be hallucinating because I think I just heard Christian say Everton are staying up. Hey man, feel better. Hopefully it goes by quickly and seamlessly.
Yes. Likewise, man. Hope you get better. It's weird because even in my Everton group chat with all the
which they are, it's the end of the world when there's like a mispass.
Because it is an all comedian group chat, a bunch of comedians out in Liverpool, and there's still a couple optimistic people in there, right? So they're like, a lot of people, even though there's losses and we're in 18th place, people are like, don't worry, we're gonna stay up. Don't worry, we're gonna stay up. And I'm like, I'm latching on to that optimism.
You think it's one of those like speak it into existence kind of things?
Maybe. I mean, look, there's for every one, and there's probably only 1 or 2 people that are like, we're gonna stay up. There's also a dozen like, get ready for the championship, folks. Those patches are gonna look great on our kits. The whole thing. It's look, I don't know where to.
Let me ask you this: if you do get relegated, do you think you're coming straight back up?
No, I said this a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't think so.
I think I did ask you that.
Yeah, I think because of the players that are going to be leaving, financial fair play, they won't be able to invest as much in the roster as they financially really could. So no, I think so. The last time Everton got relegated in like 1950 something or whatever, they were out for 3 years, and then obviously they've been in Division 1 since then. They've never been relegated from the Premier League. So the club clearly has a lot of history, and there's a lot of pride in the fact that they are one of the I think 6 clubs that have never been relegated from the Premier League. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So you feel that and you sense that when you talk to Evertonians, and the fact that this is that streak is at stake is obviously, we all know it's obviously very detrimental. But for a club like this with this much history and consistently able to stay in the top flight, I mean, it's gonna be devastating. Yeah, and somebody mentioned like it's gonna be like
Jamal said, championship is the trenches. The culture shock is gonna be massive.
Right, Jamal. So yeah, look, it'll suck. I still don't think it's gonna happen. I still think Burnley will like falter later in the season. There is a game in hand. It's only 2 points right now. Everton, look, if they can beat Manchester United, who are on paper the better team, Look, and even in the performance against Liverpool, the performance against Manchester City, when they play the top teams, they figure out a way to at least stay in these games. They only lost to Manchester City 1-0, and there was a handball that wasn't called. And all these, this is what sucks about being so close to being in relegation, though, because you look at every result, every instance, you're like, there could have been a point there, a win here. It's just like the referees. I'm just like, I hate this particular referee, and
you're like a detective that keeps looking over the files of the old case.
It's like the movie.
Why didn't anyone ask him where he was?
It's like the movie Memento. I have tattoos of all the different results all over my body, and I'm like, what? I remember when this happened. It's so frustrating. Dennis Higgins said Everton is going to hire Bielsa. Imagine.
St. Tally, shouts to St. Tally. Thanks for hanging out with us. Jamal said, LOL, Alexis up top would body Manchester United. They are not a benchmark, Christian. First of all, thank you. Second of all, you know what? Arsenal made them look good for about 20 minutes in the match, so maybe they're not that terrible. Also, whenever you have Cristiano Ronaldo, you at least know there's probably a goal getting scored. So
Sure. So like I said,
nice Cobra said Liverpool sent Rafa to sabotage Everton. What is that? I mean, think about that. That Rafa Benitez, the quite possibly most heralded, up until recently, most heralded, Liverpool manager, went to Everton, and that he's the reason they're getting relegated. And that's actually a great question. And what probably we should have talked about when we started, because this is the thumbnail, right, and the title. Do you blame Frank Lampard for this?
No, I still do not.
But where is he on the list of reasons you're getting relegated? Or reasons you're in this position?
I would say,
does he not carry more blame than Rafa?
No, not even close. I mean, look, he's in a more pressure situation than Rafa was, but it's hard to rank him. Look, if you ask me who to blame first,
I'm asking you. Give me your top three.
So
or people to blame.
I want to let's go top five. Okay.
Okay. Top five things you're blaming for Everton being in the position they're in. Go.
So one, I gotta say.
Let's start with. Hold on. No, start with 5. The least.
Oh, least. Then I'm gonna say. Frank. Frank is probably the least reason. So he's at 5.
Interesting. So Frank Lampard. He's number 5. Number 4.
He's totally to blame. He has culpability, but he is 5th in my list.
He is at fault, but not completely at fault. Okay.
Correct. No one is completely at fault in this list. It is just who takes the more of the pie of responsibility. Okay.
Right.
Okay. This is
number 4.
This is a shitty tasting pie, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a very
very humble pie. Humble pie would taste better. Yeah.
So Frank is 5th. I'm gonna say 4th would be Rafa. I'm gonna say Rafa is there because 4th because of how he handled James Rodriguez, how he handled Lucas Digne, and just having an issue with the players and being that off-putting and being that difficult. So
losing 11 in a row.
So he is 4th. 3rd will be the okay, so I'm gonna say it's not a person, but it is the injuries. Dominic Calvert-Lewin injured early in the season. Yeremina in and out, missed a lot of games. A lot of injuries. And also players leaving and stuff, like, obviously losing James and stuff like that. They obviously didn't make it easier. So the player kind of injury issue and clubhouse kind of stuff.
So if you're keeping track, 5 is Frank Lampard, 4 is Rafa Benitez, 3 is excuses. I mean injuries.
Injuries.
Everybody deals with injuries, but okay, but you did have some very important players go down, and
right.
They weren't replaced. To Granny Syburn's point in the chat, he says transfers reasons you're going down, but So that's number 3. Number 2.
Number 2, the players themselves and how they've played. Their performances have been abysmal. Whether it's coaching, whatever, the constant defensive mistakes, not being able to control the ball, just like passing, like just the fundamentals of the game have seemed to been absent this season for Everton. But the constant just giving up goals has been a nightmare. Everton have how many goals have they given up? Their goal differential is -21, which
Jesus.
is absolutely brutal. That's been one of the bigger issues. But then I also think because of the injury to Yeremina, that's probably been a big factor as well. So 2, the players themselves, and then 1, it is the board. It is Everton. The way the club,
Front office,
the way the club is simply run. Fan XY, thank you for the super chat saying responsibility pie, the new Everton dessert. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. So the board, the way the club is just simply run, they are the ones who are most responsible. Whether it's what player.
What about the board? Is it specifically? Is it the fact that they didn't make the Rafa replacement soon enough? Is it that they went to Rafa to begin with when Carlo Ancelotti left? Which, by the way, Jamal said, number 1, Ancelotti, the man is a hoe. First call from Madrid, he busted wide open. He did say that's the one.
That's
place
it. We all know
where he was.
Carlo is for the streets, bruh. Carlo's for the streets.
Bro, Carlo Ancelotti must have been helping plan the bachelorette party, bro. He out here twerking for Real Madrid, bro.
So, no, the decision to as far as the front office, the decision.
Like what is the big issue? Because I've heard the front office is default, and you could say the front office aren't good at their jobs, but what about that? I mean, maybe they're not good at marketing or some of these things. What was their decision that cost Everton, whether it be time or the ability to stay up?
Okay, first, probably bringing in Rafa, but fine. If look, he has the resume he has.
Yeah, but we talked about this.
Right.
At the time, you
look,
needed to stay within the manager ilk of the Rafas and the Ancelotti.
Right.
It was the only option.
This is the biggest mistake they've made, in my opinion, this season.
Allowing us to go there and film that.
It is allowing Rafa to make the roster decisions that he made when they just went and got rid of him anyway. That is like if you gave him you gave him the keys to the kingdom, and then he ransacked the place, and then two weeks later you're like, okay, give us the keys back. And you're not responsible now for all the damage that you caused. Getting rid of
so the front office should have made the decision to get rid of Rafa before he was able to get rid of Lucas Digne.
100%. Yes.
But then why hasn't Frank invited? I guess he can't because he is with a Saudi club, but
they're not going to be. He's not getting James back? No, he's not coming back. Who knows? Maybe James did have.
Remember that feeling? Remember that feeling when you had James and we called them the Tofiteros? They were all dancing. Remember that? How long ago does that feel?
Remember, Everton were in first place this season.
Yeah.
At the top of the table. They were in a Champions League.
Y'all did a reverse Newcastle.
For real, dude. The fact that those decisions and that Rafa had to say when things were already very rocky, like things were really difficult. They were losing a lot of games, and they were like, Rafa, we still trust you. We still got you. Get rid of Lucas Digne. Yeah, he's a problem. What? Like, you can't. That's the biggest issue. You got rid of some of your better players because the manager didn't like them and had an issue with them, and then you end up getting rid of the manager. So that is. You can't justify that. That is, something from the at the top. They're making these decisions a little bit too like I don't want to say like emotionally or whatever, because I think getting rid of Rafa was the right decision, because it was causing too much trouble with the fan base. But there's just a recklessness. I mean, there's no other way to put it. There's a recklessness with how the club is run, that you're realizing that it doesn't matter how much you spend. You need to have a solid foundation. You need to have a lot of accountability and trust, and that just didn't seem to be there.
Paulo Nelson put reverse Newcastle. Kinky. Jamal got a lot of smoke for you, bro. He said Lampard was, and I actually kind of like this. He said Lampard, or I should say I kind of agree with this. Lampard was the wrong choice, too. Guys, look at Newcastle. Apart from Bruno G signing, they made smart signings and have a better manager than Lamps. If you got Eddie Howe, you would be safe. At what point, if you won't say Lampard is even in the top 3 to blame for Everton, the position that you're in now, was he the wrong choice?
But hold on. What makes Eddie Howe this brilliant mind that understands?
Newcastle is in 9th. That's why.
Okay, yeah, but the signings were the big deal.
Yeah, but we gotta be honest. And the reason why I like his comment is Bruno Guimaraes, or whatever.
Guimaraes, yeah.
Guimaraes. He may be a big deal signing, but other than him, they went and got stable players. They signed Chris Wood. They signed Kieran Trippier, and he's been He's been injured. They went out and signed.
It wasn't. Hold on.
Players.
Hold on.
They didn't go out and sign big money players. They didn't bring in Neymar.
Hold on. Because Newcastle were in a different financial situation than Everton. Everton couldn't sign Bruno, couldn't sign Trippier without getting rid of some other players. There's financial fair play. Newcastle hadn't really, the last couple of years, Newcastle, they were struggling.
I'm not saying that's what you should have done. I'm saying you can't say that Newcastle were in a different position because they just went out and did like a good, smart business. And I'm not saying that doesn't mean you couldn't or you should have. What I'm saying is they went out and got Eddie Howe when people were like, that's not the manager the richest club in the world brings in. You're supposed to bring in a Pirlo. You're supposed to bring in this guy. They went out and just made smart football decisions. They said, yo, I need to be in the middle of this motherfucking table.
I agree.
I don't want to be here.
I love smart.
So then was Frank Lampard the wrong choice?
But Rafa was the guy in the transfer window, so you can't hold that. That responsibility is not on Frank Lampard.
I get that. No, I agree with you. But I'm saying now that you have evidence of what you've seen the last few weeks, would you look back and say Frank Lampard was either handed too hard of a hand to deal with, or was he the wrong choice? Which category?
Too difficult of a hand to work with. I think that what he is doing the best with what he has, but realistically,
or are you saying Eddie Howe wouldn't have been able to do better? To your assessment,
yeah, I don't think it has anything to necessarily do with how to tactically play. If you're gonna judge the players that Everton brought in, I'm not criticizing that. Of course, we brought in. Somebody said we brought in bums. El Ghazi or whatever, he's played like 35 seconds. Makes no sense why they signed him. Dele Alli looks lost. We don't need a player like that. Donny van de Beek can't even get in the game because they're like, there's too many defensive liabilities that we can't even put you in because we're gonna make you look bad when you back at Manchester United and when you're back with your manager.
I honestly can't believe he can't even get minutes.
He can't because there's too many defensive issues that they're simply like, Donnie, you're good going forward, and we have too many defensive issues that we're too slow in the midfield that we can't put you up there because otherwise we're gonna need you at center back, Donnie. We need help.
So then here's the question. Let's say you're the director of football for Everton Football Club back when the decision to fire Rafa happens. You are able to go back in time to that. Do you still hire Frank Lampard?
Yeah. I'm not unhappy
Charles
with Frank.
B said, Christian, I love you, but you caught in the Stockholm and Lampard syndrome.
NYCFC legend Frank Lampard. Look, we saw through.
Is that Lampard's jersey behind you? No,
it is. We had Rafa Benitez, we had Duncan Ferguson, and Frank Lampard.
Would Duncan Ferguson have done a better job?
He had an opportunity. He managed one game and it didn't, and he lost. So I think the hope was that they could bring in a leader, to bring in some positivity, to bring in some accountability, to bring in somebody that
also that the players probably have like a heavy amount of respect for as well.
Right.
Because odds are a lot of these players saw Frank Lampard play when they were younger. And, he to some degree maybe was inspirational in their career or something of those.
Right.
At the very least, they have a heavy amount of respect for him.
We know the Everton. That's why I'm saying that the Everton players eat more of the responsibility pie, because they're simply, the majority of them are not good enough. I mean, let's just be serious. They're not good enough, and we've seen that. Yes, the decisions on what players to bring and blah blah blah. Yes, a lot. There've been so many poor decisions, but Eddie Howe doesn't come in here and snap a finger, just fix this. Well, you can't. Why are they giving up so many goals all the time? And the one thing I would blame. Or the thing I would be more frustrated with Frank about is that early on in his early games, when he lost like the first 2 or 3, he was very experimental, 3 at the back, trying to like possess more, and you saw that early on, and it was not working. And credit to him, because he was like, my bad, sorry, I threw away 9 points. I didn't realize how bad this team was. So
y'all, they can't even do this.
So
I go back to the drawing board.
He gave them a shot. He gave them a chance to see what they could do, and it wasn't working. And then also not having the players that they need, like a Yerry Mina. That Yerry Mina not being, missing so many games, I think is one of the biggest reasons why Everton are in the position that they're in. You just having a 6'3" dude that is strong, that also is responsible. I think he has like 4 goals or 5 goals this season. He must be pretty high up in goal scorers for Everton this season. So missing a goal scoring threat on set pieces, and being able to defend as good as he does, that's been another like huge factor. But no,
and I like that Jamal said this, because I think it goes counter to what you've said, and probably closer to what I believe. Jamal's killing it right now. He does say Lamps is overrated, which it is what it is. But Eddie, he said Eddie would have been better. Eddie Howe would have been better. Man, their first 11 is literally the same players that have been there. Bar Wood and Bruno G. Chris Wood, their striker, and Bruno G. Look, 2 big players that if Everton were to have a tall, good on set piece, stable striker, and Bruno, I feel like they'd be in a much better place. But outside of those 2 players, it's really been the same players they got. And those 2 just got in a couple weeks ago. And he did change Joe Linton from a striker to a center mid. So he's smart enough to put someone, and Joe Linton has been playing incredibly since that change. So he is smart enough to make those adjustments. And that's one thing where I feel like Frank Lampard, hasn't really shown his ability to do that. I don't remember him doing that at Chelsea when he was there, and I certainly haven't seen him do it now. Then again, I don't know who you change what to. Do you make Richarlison
what is the adjustment? Please, in the chat, let me know what the adjustment you would make.
Actually, you know what? Don't even put it in our chat. Email it directly to Everton.
They've tried everything. The fans have even gotten to the point that like, bring in the kids, bring in the Everton 2 players, the U23 squad or whatever. They've had enough. I can't explain it either, but whether it's a lack of chemistry, which obviously that is a big issue. Even Richarlison playing as center forward when Dominic Calvert-Lewin is hurt, and that's not his position, and he's really not that strong there. They've tried it all. I don't know what to tell you. All I can say is fix things defensively, and that's probably the best shot to stay in the Premier League. But expecting one or two changes to fix everything is not the case. It's just
Harry Gunnar got some smart ideas. He said, "Bring in Jizz and Shamak." I mean,
Poorly drawn Arsenal said, it's bad when you say you are missing a defender as your main goal scoring threat. That's right. We know it's bad. It is how you know.
This is a poorly developed squad instead of poorly drawn Arsenal. What about Frank signing like Ali and Dan Van Den Nico?
Van de Beek. But
I know. I was like, is there a bit that I missed there? Someone said that they just signed names. I actually thought Van de Beek had a chip on his shoulder, had something to prove, would come in, show that the way he's been treated at Manchester United is a mistake. It's a loan. He would, start finding players. And I also thought Dele Alli kind of would walk in with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder and at the very least be more active. You know what I mean? Like seemed more interested than he currently does. I thought the same thing. There's a reason why I don't manage. There's multiple reasons why I don't manage a football club. But one of them is because I do give players a bit of a break. And I do think both of those players would have come in and done something. But now looking at that, it's actually taught me. Your mistakes have taught me a lesson, which is you don't go out and get players that need to change it around. You go out and get players that have that stability like Newcastle.
But when you're a team that's struggling, all the other clubs in the Prem are like, oh, okay, we can offload some of this trash we got.
Oh yeah,
because
Lampard, I think he'll do good for you. He needs a change of scene.
Okay, they're doing good business. Props to them. Look for getting those wages off their books and doing what they got to do. But Dele Alli is a strange one because it really doesn't look like he fits in the team. I don't know what his role is necessarily. Is he a 10? He's kind of like a roaming 10, and he's kind of all over the place.
He's not a winger. He's not central, really. He's definitely ain't on the right side either.
He's literally delivered. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I honestly think he's delivered one key pass in his entire. I think he's played like maybe 8 or 9 games. I saw this pass, and it was a pass to Richarlison that put him in perfect space, and it didn't lead to a goal. But he's not delivering what he was brought in to do, nor do I think he exactly knows what is being asked of him, because now
might not be the right time to say this, but I just want to remind everyone that Everton purchased Dele Alli for $40 million.
Right. Yeah, he's the future. He's the future of this club.
That ain't a loan, bro. That ain't a loan.
Build a statue. I want a statue of Dele Alli. Okay.
Yeah, but you gotta make the dreads removable.
Okay.
Just like I
want a statue of Dele and I want a statue of Ali, bro. I want both. Okay. He's a legend. Because
But I think the most surprising part of all of this is that you really you are a salmon right now, swimming against the tide, bro. Everyone in the chat is against you. Everyone in the media out here, every newspaper, no one thinks the same way you do. But you are steadfast. You think Everton find a way to survive this.
Yeah, look, they're not. It's not like they're necessary. Look, the loss to Liverpool is a loss to Liverpool. Nobody. I'm not really even sweating that game that much. Again, there's a game in hand. Burnley are not that good. There's a strong possibility.
Burnley
here.
Been playing well. They're in good form.
Right, they got a draw.
The wrong time for you.
Yeah. Jamal said Everton hired Lampard because they thought relegation wasn't real. They should have gotten Big Sam or someone with the league experience because Lamps ain't built for this. He has lost composure. Look, we tried Big Sam too. I don't know. It's not like he hasn't been there either. He was just there, 4 years ago? I think because of the stadium, the new stadium, I think Everton are shooting their shot and trying to be amongst the top clubs in the world. And yes, did they see relegation as a possibility? No, I don't think they took it that seriously because I think they thought They see the players that they have. They see how much money they spend. So this is why my number one is the board. I think they really didn't see this out correctly, and they didn't really have a clear vision on what type of players you want to bring in, what style of play you want, what manager is going to bring us into the future. So they're at most responsible.
Joe Fox said, you're a lion flying into the sun.
Well put, Joe. Thank you.
But if he had 9.9 billion friends with him, I think he might be right.
Okay, if you have 10 million Dominican Calvert-Lewins going into the sun, I don't know. I think there's a real.
I mean, first of all, I figured out your first 11.
or Dominic Calvert-Lions. That's correct.
Hey,
because now 10
trillion Dominic Calvert-Lions.
Oh my goodness. Barry Guna said Almeida's available now. Yes, Pelado is more than welcome to take the reins.
That man market might not work so well in the Premier.
We can't man mark. We can't zone mark. There's nothing. There's no marking.
Jamal said Burnley upturn in form is what's got Everton stressing. What did they? I looked this up. They won 3 of their last 5, drew 1 as well. So only 1 loss. And it was to Norwich, which you would have assumed you walk away from thinking.
Yeah, man, I was the biggest Norwich fan that day.
But for them to beat Southampton and Wolves is really impressive. And I know they got Watford and 2 Aston Villa matches and a Tottenham and Newcastle match coming up. But I could see this one going down to the final game of the season. And I got to be honest, if it's win and get in a 4th, but that also means you get relegated, bruh, I got no remorse.
Also,
I got none whatsoever.
if it's win and stay in the league, and Arsenal don't get into Champions League, same here, no remorse at all.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I would respect you if you felt any other way.
Right. Bro, I mean, look, yeah, we can go on for hours about this. Everton just are quite the story, man. It makes no real sense given given the money that they spend. If you look at how much money they spent it's like nearly $1 billion in the last 15 years. They've spent
crazy
so much money.
And you have so much more to spend. You have a brand new stadium in the works.
Yeah, they just mistake after mistake, and it led to this situation. This isn't something that just started this year. There've been so many poor decisions that led to this. You gotta always look. Everton fans, all they can do is hope for the best, man. That's all. I see the remaining fixtures. There's mathematically we're not out of it, so anything is possible. It sucks that Burnley is playing as well as they are right now, but I can't imagine that they're going to maintain this consistency. They're not going to win every single game. They're still Burnley. Yeah, they have a new manager. They're not winning games 5-0. They won 1-0. So anything is possible.
Jamal wrote a new chant for you guys. I'm sure you've heard the "We got Super Mick Arteta." Have you heard that chant?
I have not heard that one.
For Mikel Arteta. Mm-mm. It's I heard it about 75,000 times at the stadium, and every time I wanted to send a little video of it to troops. But Jamal wrote one for you. He said, "We got Super Frank Lampard. He knows exactly what we need. Mina in defense, richarlison in attack. Everton on the way to the championship."
Okay, yo, turn me up. That slaps, though.
Put me up in the monitor. Dennis Dickens said, "I don't think this is what they meant by saying getting championships for Everton."
Okay, so
I will say this. I do hope Everton stays up, but I am nowhere near as confident as you in the amount of points you're going to get. You said 11. For me, it's probably closer to that 8. And is that 8 enough? And I honestly think Burnley might be able to take both games at personally, I hope Burnley loses every match except the Tottenham one. Except the Tottenham one. I hope they beat Tottenham. Other than that, but I think they're going to stick with those 8 points. So I think Everton only get 8 points. So is that enough? We'll see. We're gonna be taking the temperature of this every week because it is It is a telenovela.
But brother, the pot is boiling, bro. It is spilling over the sides. We should take it off the stove, but we can't.
But somebody asked, do we think that this is what's up next for Manchester United? A nice Cobra said, how far are Manchester United from being in the same position? They are in similar disarray, to be honest. Let me tell you something. I saw them play. There were moments where Arsenal made them look good. There were moments where we couldn't. The thing about Manchester United, and I got to see in real time what Ralph Rangnick has done for them, which was when we beat Tottenham 3-1, we would score, and then Arsenal would be able to build more momentum off of that score. There was very few moments where it felt like, Tottenham had pulled some of that momentum back, pulled the momentum back into their direction. It wasn't happening. I'll say, Manchester United, for the most part, was really good about being able to sort of clamp and stop and say, all right, now we control the midfield, blah, 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 blah. By the way, someone just asked, Justy said, not related to football, love the top Alexis is wearing. Anyone have a link to the site? Actually, this is my boy's brand. It's called Dirty Pockets. Look, it comes with like this cool little pin of roses. It's on a champion hoodie. Check out Dirty Pockets. I don't know if they have a website. He's my homie. But Google Dirty Pockets clothing. You'll see it. If not, I'll put it in the description. Well, I got to see in real time that, Ralph Rangnick has at very least drilled the basics into this team. Now, what I also saw in real time is that there were large swaths of this game where they were like, yo, we ain't trying to listen to Ralph Rangnick. And I look, Mikel Arteta's style is not for everyone. There is a difference between the fans you hear on social media and you see on YouTube and what's happening in the stadium. There really are a different sort of beast. In the stadium, Mikel Arteta has, and I don't want to say unwavering because I wasn't here for some of the rougher matches, and the away matches are completely different. If I'm going to be completely honest, that fan base, the away fans, it feels a little more toxic. I don't want to blame them, and I don't want to say they're toxic. It just feels a little bit more of a catalyst,
sure,
the away section. But the home stands, boy, they love Mikel Arteta as much as I do. It's almost like I'm at these games every week. Like, they are defending him just as much as I do. And there is this sense that he's kind of got the right idea. He may not have the tools, in place to be able to do that. He may not, it still feels like he doesn't have exactly what he needs just yet. And he will this summer. But before the Gabriel Jesus information broke, the feeling at the stadium, or I should say after, because that broke the day before, afterwards, no one cared about the Gabriel Jesus thing. It was like the feeling was, I think we got Manchester United with the squad we have. And I know Manchester United in the mud right now, but there's still quality players on that team. After watching that full 90, I have a bit more trust in Nuno Tavares. I'm fine with him. Look, he's made mistakes. He had the handball. There were moments where he completely lapsed. But what I see is this kid does not stop. He does not give up. And he tries every time. And the moments where he switched positions with ESR, bro, he was totally fine up there. He knew exactly what to do. And it showed me Mikel Arteta's got it beaten into their brains, similar to City. There's moments where you start the match as a right back. You might not be the right back for the whole match. So you need to know what these other positions are doing. He knew exactly what to do, which is another reason why
put the goalkeeper gloves on.
Yeah. You know what? You're the manager. I'm the right back. That's what Mikel Arteta
You've
said.
trained for this. No, I thought look, it could have been there was a chance that Manchester United had, I think, to tie it, and they missed it or something.
Well, look, the fact that Bruno took the penalty and not Cristiano Ronaldo is probably the reason why Arsenal walks away with 3 points. If I'm being completely honest, when I saw Bruno go up, I'm like, they don't want to at all, huh? What the hell are you doing?
Yeah,
I'm surprised Cristiano Ronaldo walked away from a brace.
Yeah, that was a bit shocking. Look, and then the goal that Xhaka scored was from I don't know if it was Bruno that lost the ball or missed the. I think he tried to go for it or something like that. It was just like poor. He just did, the effort wasn't 100% there to try to win that ball back, and Xhaka scores that goal. But did you think Probably not in live. It didn't seem like it was offside, but there was a lot of controversy whether that goal was offside because who was it? I think Nketiah was behind.
Did he block the?
He blocked the
keeper?
view, and De Gea had to look around.
Here's why I think that may not have counted, because I've seen the highlights about 700 times. I can't stop watching it. I think it's because he already was way out of position. Even though he had to kind of look past them, when the ball's kicked, he's already on the other side of Nketiah. So maybe that's why that wasn't considered. And I didn't see that. I also didn't see how bad the Bruno Fernandes foul was. I couldn't see that from the stands.
Right.
I can't believe that wasn't a red card. And to Jamal said, what away fans are you talking about, Alexis? Our away tribal fans are so good when we travel. I'm not saying that they don't show up for the matches. I'm not saying that there aren't a ton of them. I'm just saying the mood, the feeling towards the club is a bit more pessimistic in the away fans than it is at home. And that could be, because I've seen wins. But even before the match, the away fans, there was something about communicating with them and talking to them where you don't feel as uplifted about the way the club was situated. Right. And I'm talking primarily at the Everton match. There was something about it where they were still like, this guy needs to be sacked. There was a general attitude that things weren't as good as they were, where when you're at home, it's a bit more calm. People are a little bit, especially with,
it's family.
Our format.
It's family friendly. That's how it should be.
I wouldn't even say that for sure, but I would definitely say, like, at the very least, there's a bit more of a positive feeling towards the way the club is being handled and the future of Mikel Arteta. That said, here's what I want to say. What I took away from that match, besides the 3 points, and I do think we're back in the position where fourth is not necessarily ours, but it's ours to lose. So I will say that. If we want to talk about Manchester United, there's honestly 2 players that should be brought back next season. Maybe 3. And I can't believe I'm saying one of these names, but Cristiano Ronaldo deserves to be back. I need to give Flex and everyone else credit. Look, I'm not a fan of Cristiano Ronaldo for some of the stuff he's done off the pitch. That's just what it is. That's never going to go away. I'm a big defender of women. That said, I've given him a lot. I've given him a lot of shit for the fact that when he's playing, he gets frustrated and he tells people, you should have done this and you should have been that. You should have done this. And that to me doesn't breed a good team. Now, I will go back on everything I just said because you know what? Homie's right, bro. I watched this in real time. Y'all need to listen to that man. Every time he says something, I'm like, yo, you should have.
Yeah.
You should have made that cut. Yo, Cristiano Ronaldo is, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but he's right most of the time with the shit he's telling you to do. And you could see when you watch it in real time and the cameras, you're not just following the camera and you're seeing the whole pitch. He is not the most active. He's up there in age, but you can see he's always putting himself in the position that it feels like either he needs to be or that he should be. But I don't think he has the talent around him to get him the ball. So Cristiano Ronaldo, that guy stays. Jadon Sancho is of a higher ilk than 90% of everyone else on that pitch. I don't know what it's going to take for him to show that consistently.
Yeah.
But that kid has moments when the moments of brilliance you see out of him are much higher than anyone else. Honestly, it reminds me of like Pogba, where you're like, oh my God, why couldn't you just do this all match? People would get off your back. But then again, Sancho was bought to be on the left. He's on the right. So, who knows what's going on there. And then maybe the third person is De Gea. And that's it. Look, Bruno Fernandes, I know y'all love him. I know y'all gave him a contract extension. He did not deserve that from what I've seen. It looks like he's completely given up. And I'm not even talking about the penalty miss. That's a huge mistake. That's stupid. That's a lapse of judgment. But there's moments where he's just walking on the pitch, where he's not tracking back. It looks like he's given up. It looks like he's worried about his vacation plans. And I do want to answer Jamal, who said, LOL, the away fans, you're bugging, Alexis. I've been to more away games this season. We have all backed Arteta. Where do you think that Super Mick Arteta check came from? It's from one of the away trips. All right, then maybe I'm wrong. I'm just telling you the vibes I felt at that Everton match. It felt way more pessimistic towards the club, and even way more pessimistic to the things around the club. And maybe you're in a away section that's a cut that was different from where I was. Just even like the way they were treating like just AFTV people, the way they were treating Mikel Arteta at that time, the way they were treating just the general fan base seemed maybe it was just younger and maybe just a bit different, but there was something about it where the away fans are way more calm. They trust the way the club is going, and it could just be because
you mean the home fans are more calm.
The home fans, my fan. Yeah, they're more calm.
Also,
they're more trusting. They believe in the future. That's my assessment.
At that time, that was in December when Arsenal weren't doing too well. So it might have just been that moment in time where people's frustrations were. Which is also very possible. But I mean,
it could be. It could be. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions off of one match. But the people around me were like, I was like, damn, yo, they really don't. They really. I mean, they love the club and they care, but they really don't believe in this project right now.
All right. Well, I mean, what are they saying now? Because things have seemed to improve quite a bit.
A lot of people were chanting, "You were right, Alexis," and I'm telling you, I mean, I was like, I'm not gonna be hearing it. You were
right, Alexis.
There's only one Alexis girl.
I love these away trips. These are great.
I mean, this is great. Are these actors I hired, baby? Manchester United, bro. That rebuild is going to take years.
Did you see there was a comment? I don't know how accurate it was, but that players are unhappy with Ralph Rangnick because of he's been being way more vocal the last few weeks. Basically, and they don't like his comment in particular that they supposedly don't like is that he said we need to replace 10 players on the team, and some players feel like that is they feel like he's calling them out a little bit. And when
you know what, I bet you whoever suggested that, you might be right, buddy.
Yes,
that's
Ralph,
a lot of
Ralph,
odds.
10 is a lot. There's not that many roster spots.
Yeah. Hey, Ralph, you said 19. We only have 18.
You're really... I don't know, but based on the numbers that you're putting out there, I feel like you're talking about me.
Yeah. Also, the coaches are nervous because they think that extra player is one of them. I can't explain to you, like, Manchester United is Manchester United. Like, even if they're kind of down bad, you kind of don't ever feel like they're out. You know what I mean? You never feel like it's an easy team to play. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's Manchester United. And, bro, that's not who showed up at Emirates.
Yeah.
There's like you know what they all look like? They all look like cartoons, like the kids in cartoons, like walking to school with their head down, kicking rocks. That's how they all looked.
like a Peanuts comic strip? Just a Charlie Brown?
Nick Red said, based on the expert judgment of Chris I forgot there was a damn Puerto Rican.
Well, don't say damn before it, bro. You're going to...
Wait, oh my God, I sound like my
mother. Oh, my goodness. So,
there's a Cuban flag stealing Puerto Rican. Manchester United.
How dare he?
So my mother once yelled like, "Oh, and you had to get pregnant by one of them." I'm like, "They were married, Mom."
Yeah, they're doing too much. So look, obviously a big result for Arsenal. They are currently we'll look at the table real quick. They're currently
back in fourth.
In fourth, 2 points above Tottenham. Tottenham would they draw in their last game? I think they
draw and lost.
So it got a little scary there. Look, it's still...
Did you see the rumor? The rumor is, and this feels like more than a rumor, the rumor is that Antonio Conte, who I said when he got hired that he would not make it past this season and he would leave on his own volition. That's what I said, because at the end of the day, it's still Tottenham. And everyone told me Conte's a winner. He wins everywhere he goes. He didn't win here. Even if he finishes fourth, that's not a trophy, bruh. But I did say he would leave, and the rumor is that he wants the PSG job. And the rumor is that he's advised his agents to get him that job under any circumstances. That feels like more than a rumor, doesn't it?
I don't even know why he wants the job necessarily.
What?
I mean,
they got Neymar for 3 more years. They obviously are going to spend money.
I don't know. I mean, it must be simply that it's better than the job at Tottenham. But PSG is not necessarily the
The
best...
manager of a Chipotle in Alaska is a better manager job than manager of Tottenham. What are you talking about?
Joe Whitlock said Tottenham in free fall, right?
An Arsenal fan saying fourth place is not a trophy. I am deceased. All right, Catherine. I'm not saying it's not a. You can't put fourth in your trophy cabinet. And since you're a Tottenham fan, let me explain what a trophy cabinet is. Once you win a trophy,
I think. Look, when Tottenham is playing well, it 100% feels like this is. You know, they could be competing for at least second or third place. You know, they're not.
Look, the problem is they look like a Champions League club when they're playing well.
Right.
The problem is it doesn't last.
Yeah, and it's hard to explain.
You know what's funny? People were like, in my Arsenal group chat, they're like, Tottenham are bottle jobs. They're bottle jobs. And part of me wanted to be like, they might not be that this season. There's something about them that feels different in the last few weeks. And then they go and bottle it. You know, it's like, damn.
Yeah, they drew to Brentford, lost to Brighton. But Brentford they're playing pretty well right now, so it's not that much of a shock. And I don't know if you saw this got made me a little bit emotional.
I think we're going to beat Manchester United.
I mean, that's not saying that much, but the Christian Eriksen signing. Did you see him? He signed an autograph
shirt for a wheelchair bound.
Fan, and the guy was like so. I mean, he was like nearly in tears. He was so emotional. It was seeing the love and support that the Tottenham fans gave to Christian Eriksen when he took the corner. They gave him and they applauded him. But it was like. It kind of hit me in the feels a little bit. I was like happy to see
the man died on a football pitch. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I didn't see it in real time, but when I'm watching back the clips, I was like, man, this is super touching. It kind of, you know what it reminded me of? It's kind of morbid to say, but is that idea of like you wish you were able to get invited to your own funeral so you could see.
Yeah.
Kind of that thought process, like you get to see, like,
well, you are invited. You are invited to your funeral because you're there. So
you know what? You make a good point. If anything, you're the main investor. You know?
You're like, yo, we got to put it. You're number one on this list. We got to make sure you're there.
Yeah. Without you, this event doesn't happen. So thank you for dying, bro. Jamal said he was on the stairs. That means he was dying. He was on the stairs. On the stairs to heaven, by the way. Christian, what do you expect? He was on the stairs almost having a combo with Jesus.
No, but look, regardless, it's still...
he almost had a conversation with Gabriel Jesus.
Whoa. Crazy, I didn't even know they spoke the same language.
Damn, yo. He must have been like, obrigado. Putting me back. Caipirinha, I would love one right now because my heart can't take it. But people are saying that Pochettino and Conte might swap. Pochettino goes back to Tottenham.
Why?
If you're Tottenham, you don't want Pochettino, right? Remember when you were
they fired him.
Now I want you now to manage Tottenham. Would you, if Conte leaves, would you bring back Pochettino? He didn't win nothing with you anyway. The vibes were better when he was there, but he didn't win nothing with you. I
mean, he got them to a Champions League final.
And you get what for that?
You don't get anything for it, but I'm saying...
Oh, you get this, not a goddamn...
I would say, I would argue Pochettino shouldn't want to go back. And, because I think he should feel a little bit insulted that they got rid of him when
Joe Whitlock said, Joe Whitlock said, no funeral for me, just play the Champions League theme song as you slowly dump my body in the trash.
I mean, just the imagery alone, you really put a lot of thought into this, Joe. Thank you for sharing.
Bro, that reminds me of like when we were in school, because I went to Catholic school. Our teacher, this is third grade. This is third grade. Teachers asked us, how do you want to die? One of the teachers asked us that.
What?
Yo, dead ass. I'm not making this up. I love that what I'm about to say should be the most shocking part, but for most people, they're like, why would you ask a group of children this? They said, how would you like to die? And most kids said, I want to die in my sleep. Everyone said, I want to die in my sleep. I want to die in my sleep. Oh, I want to die in my sleep. I want to die in my sleep. And they got to me. I said, I want to be shot by a beautiful woman in bed. And the teacher was like, we need to have a conversation. And they made me talk to the principal. My mother got a phone call. It was a whole thing.
What does the beautiful woman have to do with? Does it make it?
I wanted to be shot. I wanted to be shot by a beautiful woman in bed.
Is this a more honorable death that she's good looking?
I just thought it was way more lit than just going to bed and not waking up. At least I got to smash, bro.
But there's nothing in there that implies any sex. You just want to be shot by a beautiful woman in bed.
I was in third grade. What do you want me to be like? First we go with missionary. But then I'll flip that girl over. You know what I mean? And that's probably when she gets the gun because I can't see. But I'm just smashing from behind, digging her face into a pillow, right?
Right.
And when I'm finally done, I lay down, but she's not finished. So she sits in my face, right? I finished the job. That's probably when she loaded the gun. And then at that point, I get shot. But, I mean, at least we both finished. Was that what you wanted me to say?
That now it provides the clarity that I needed to. Now, this is a beautiful death. This is a beautiful. And also, did you know that is that's like a saying, the beautiful death. They call, I think it's Latin or something like that. That the orgasm, the nickname for it is called the beautiful death. That there's some sort of part of you that is, yeah. There's a movie about that too. That's very very
it's
good.
the part of you that likes video games and computers dies every time you finish.
I mean, if Alexis read books, he would know what I'm talking about. It's all good.
Nick Red said Newark School is doing Newark. Robert from LA said, is Alexis happy for his ex Hector Bellerin for winning Copa del Rey for Real Betis? 5. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. If you want us to make sure we read something you say, super chat it, and we 100% will read it. Look, I'm super happy for Hector Bellerin. My homie's over there interviewing him right now. I don't want to say who because I don't want to give up what content they're making, but I'm super happy for him. I loved him at Arsenal. I didn't think he was the right player at the moment. I wanted him to be put in a better situation. And Real Betis also seems like the dopest place to play. They throw the teddy bears on the pitch. For although didn't one of their fans like rip a piece of the stadium and throw it at a player like a pole? Other than that, they seem like a great place to play.
I got corrected. It's Le Petit Mort, which is the small death. Not which. Thank you for that clarification. But yes,
in French, you pronounce the letter at the end before an e.
Petite Mort. What is that? What you
Morte.
said? I don't think that's correct.
You pronounce letters before an e. You telling me I'm wrong, buddy? I've been hitting that Duolingo like crazy. Me and that owl are homies on the trip,
I like this. Trish Murphy's husband said, muting this part for the 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if the 4-year-old's going to Catholic school, but be careful about the questions that are about to be asked.
Also, you got about 4 years left before he needs to know.
Oh my goodness! So
by the way, Joey Gusto put absolutely what Alexis said. Titty bears.
The one thing about Robert
Jamal, no, I go to Paris on Friday, so no, I will not be here for West Ham, unfortunately.
The Robertis, yes, they won Copa del Rey against Valencia, and I was happy for Hector Bellerin, but I was sad for Yunus Musa, who missed the penalty in that game, in the penalty shootout. So it was a bummer that the only person who missed was the American. You hate to see it, but
you know what? He didn't pull a hamstring, which seems to be the American thing to do these days. So thank you.
But no, it's obviously huge. That's like Hector Bellerin's like childhood club and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see. He got them. It was their first trophy in 17 years. So definitely huge for Real Betis.
And who's angry about that? Every Sevilla fan in the world, because they absolutely despise each other.
Correct.
Shouts to a nice cold brew. Thanks for hanging out with us. Omar Ramirez said Alexis is a master at French fries, so he knows what he's talking about.
Mean the French and French fries.
Gotcha.
I'm assuming that's.
Hey, you know who's in the chat? My homie Brush.
Right? Hey, Brush.
Brushy. Went out drinking a little bit. Shouts to Brush.
Awesome, Brush.
We watched the Tyson Fury boxing match.
Right. Yeah, the British love heavyweight fights. I think Americans are done with it.
Love boxing.
We're like, we need to see flyweights and middleweights.
Every bar was full for this fight. In America, it would have been like, I don't even know what channel on.
Why are these guys so fat?
I don't know. Have they thought about doing ab crunches?
Brush, what was Alexis like now that you've met him in person? Is he exactly everything you thought? Was he any different? Let us know.
What's the review? What's the review?
Put it in the chat. So I think we should wrap up there. We'll wrap up with Brushy's review. But thank you everybody for joining us. We appreciate it. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. We are almost at 4,000. Did we hit 4,000 yet? I don't think we did. But I can check.
We did.
I can check right now. But please hit that subscribe button. And as always, you can become a member here on YouTube if you'd like to support, or join our Patreon. We're going to be doing a new podcast, a No Cap Recap podcast, this week. So it should be available probably Thursday or Friday. And Alexis will share all his stories out in London. There's been a lot of fun stuff that he's gotten to
do. Brush's comment?
Brush said, LOL, he's just as he is on stream. You see?
I told you, I only got one gear, bro.
The authenticity is quite accurate. You know, a lot of times people, they look at content creators and they're like, oh, but are they like different? Are they, they have an ego? No, bro. This is it. This is us. Okay?
I only know one way to be. There was a moment where the security guard came to tell us that they were going to remove the tables because so many people were going to filter into the bar for the fight. We had gotten to the bar a little bit before that. And I just started bantering with the security guard, trying to get them to not move the table further back. So I'm like, let me distract them by just bullshitting with him. And we ended up having a great conversation. But I looked at Brushy and he was like, oh no, he does this with everyone. You can see on Brush's face. He was like, oh, it doesn't matter if someone's in front of him. They are now Alexis' audience.
Yeah, there could be times where it can be a little embarrassing where I'm like, Alexis, you could dial it down to at least a 6, But he...
I was like, my dial broke, baby. I can't go down.
It's stuck at 11. I can't help you. But like always, thank you so much for joining us. I'll be back here tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Shouts to US. It's going to be our American soccer show, and we're going to be joined by a special guest. It's going to be Taylor Rockwell of Total Soccer Show. Will be joining me because Alexis is unavailable because he is out in Londoning. So he'll be,
which is what they call it here.
So,
St. Tally said, plot twist, real life Alexis likes bagels. Don't you dare spill those horrific rumors out there about me.
So Taylor Rockwell of Total Soccer Show will be joining me. It'll be a lot of fun. So come through tomorrow and hop in the chat. Alexis will be on. It's our birthdays, obviously coming up in the next couple days. Alexis will be on vacation in Paris. I will still be doing the show, and I will have other co-hosts next Monday and Tuesday. So look out for that. It'll be a lot of fun. But as always, thanks for the support, and thanks for hanging out with us, everybody here on YouTube. If you listen to this podcast, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or leave 5 stars on Spotify. And join the Patreon, patreon.com/soccercooligans. We got that No Cap Recap podcast coming soon this week, so look out for that. Anything else, Alexis? Any other parting words before we go?
No. Thank you to everyone who stopped me at the stadium that says they listen to the content, or they've seen me on videos, or they've seen people asking me where Chritian was. All that kind of stuff, man. It's been absolutely incredible. The more and more Chritian and I try to make ourselves a bit more, sort of whatever, get a little more exposure in this side of the conversation of football. It's been not easy, and we understand our accents, are a big hurdle for some people.
Bro,
more
TikTok is literally, anytime we post a clip, they're like, "Goddamn Americans, why are they talking about this game? They don't know anything about the game."
Yo, you remember when I was like, I did Arsenal Fan TV and the fans love me? Well, let me tell you what happens over at United View. It is not the same. It is not the same reaction. I have been called a clown and told to go back to baseball multiple times. And part of me is like, is that an American thing, or you trying to mess with me for being Cuban, bro? like you being racist right now? But the love we do actually get, and it may not be may not be everybody, unfortunately, but the love that we do get absolutely means the best. It means the most. It means a lot. That's probably what I should be saying.
It means mucho. Okay.
It means things. No, but it really does. It's part of why we keep going. We keep trying hard. It's folks like Brush and stuff like that who were like, nah, man. Brush actually said, I was like, what's the reason why you started watching us? And he was like, everyone out here takes it very serious. So it's nice to have one or two places that, do it from a comedic angle where you can just have a good time. And that's what we hope to get across to people. So the fact that y'all are finding us and liking what we do, and to everybody who sticks with us while we try to split this up and talk about American and Europe and stuff, you guys are the absolute best. And we love how much we're building, and we love how far we're going. So for everyone who stopped me and said something nice, man, thank you so much. It means the world to me, and we ain't going to stop.
Let's go. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out. We appreciate you in the chat. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So come through. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. And enjoy a lot of games this week. I have Champions League, a lot going on. So it's going to be a lot to talk about. All right. Take care, everybody. Peace.